All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Authentic Points of View. McKenna's not here again. It's all right. So she will she will be back. She's gone, like everybody knows, in Pennsylvania. And I asked her, "Are you going to be on the podcast?" She's at her um, aunt's house with lots of people, and she said probably not. So we'll see. But she will be back in August. We'll get back into the flow of things, and I literally couldn't even figure out how to do the live stream today. And if she was here, she would have figured it out in 2 seconds. But it's all good. All right, so I'm excited about today's guest. I really wanted her to be here because he's going to teach us stuff that's good for kids, but she can watch it later. Winn Schwartzel is a author and cybersecurity expert, and I am excited to have him here. Welcome to the show, Winn.
Oh, hello. And where's the tween I was promised to talk to?
I know she's missing in action. So she is in Pennsylvania with my ex-husband for a few weeks in the summer, and she was supposed to like be here on her phone, but she is at her aunt's
Yeah,
house.
we have the technology.
I know. She has an iPhone too. So she said it's so loud in there that she doesn't think that it's like she would be able to be a part of it, which is respectful. I respect that.
I
So
still miss her.
I know, me too. Believe me, she's usually sitting beside me, so it's been weird.
Those are the questions I was actually looking forward to the discussion. No offense, adult person, human, but
Oh, I am offended. I'm just joking. Well, we can do a weird style on FaceTime or no. I'm like, here, we're gonna I'll ask her if she has any questions. She's really good at it. But all right. So what my adult questions might be good, but kids, yeah, it's really good for kids, and I'm actually interested in that. So I'll ask things she might ask, and then I will tell her the answer. So, how long have you actually been in cybersecurity?
191 years.
Oh my.
Uh, I got involved in cybersecurity in 1983.
Wow.
And it was an accident. Everybody, if you, the kids that are listening, they often ask, "What do I need to know to get into cybersecurity? How'd you get in?" And all of us, will tell our stories about it. But very, very few people got into cybersecurity by saying, "I'm going to get into cybersecurity."
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of people that were interested in math. Obviously, a lot of programmers, a lot of people that are technical. But the number one thing above all is a single word that drives everybody in our field. And I'm going to challenge you. What word might that be?
A single
One
word.
word to describe the vast majority of people in cybersecurity.
Hmm.
All right, that's too much dead air.
Cyber? The word cyber or the security?
Curiosity.
Oh, I like that.
Curiosity. How does that work? I have a 6-year-old grandson, and we took him to, he stopped in Paris when I was there for a while last year. And he goes, "I want to go see how the sewers work."
Oh.
So, and then he's a Lego maniac. And then we got him this electronics kit, and he's built. So his curiosity path is kind of like that cartoon, with the family circus with all the chaos everywhere. A lot of us in cybersecurity have that chaotic mind where, well, if I think of A, then obviously the square root of oranges is the answer. Well,
Yeah.
how'd you get there? I don't know, but it's this curiosity of how things work, how things go together. And one of the mantras, and be very careful with this, kids. Do not take this too literally yet. It's one of them is break everything. But the meaning of break everything means and know how to put it back together.
Yeah.
So the curiosity is really it. So I got involved in 1983 out of curiosity through some friends, and it gave me the bug. It gave me the itch. And I've had that itch for a long, long time. And then only in the last several years have I really gotten away from cybersecurity per se. And what is the most important single thing that cybersecurity is about? Audience, ring in. Anybody, ring in.
Yeah, anybody want to comment and guess? I will guess. I don't know because there's like so many different cybersecurity, but like I guess protection of
Yeah.
things. No, forget about
No,
it. So
no.
what is?
The human.
Oh,
Things don't break. Humans break things.
okay.
Code does not misdesign itself. People misdesign code and then don't find it or don't care to find it. So this curiosity to find mistakes, the curiosity of how the human factor, about how we, and I hopefully everybody can see this because the work I've been doing now for the last several years is not about passwords and all that kind of stuff so much. It's how do we as humans, especially in light of AI and all the stuff going on, how are we going to do?
Coexist.
How are we going to coexist? This is what the kids need to be thinking about. How do I coexist with technology? Right now, does technology control them or do they control technology?
Right.
How many times a day do some of your audience pick up this and look for something? The average answer is 283 times a day.
Wow.
And adults aren't much better. So in that way, the technology is controlling you because how often do you disconnect? You say, that's it. I'm gonna read a book. I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna sit outside and look at the stars and just wonder. I'm not gonna go to Google or GPT and ask. I just want my brain to wonder like we used to up until the last 30, 40 years. So this thing with coexistence is something that is so, so important for kids and adults as well, and enterprise and everybody to understand. Right now, if we keep going the way we're going, technology wins and we're an extinct species. Sorry, kids. Sorry about that, but your job, kids, is to gain control of your life over technology.
That's true. Yeah, going outside. I just hiked this morning. So, like, going outside, being in nature, not touching your phone. I went to a Renaissance fair and my friend was like, it's great because the phones don't work. But even me as an adult, I was like, I need my phone to work because I had scheduled things and people were trying to contact me. And I was like, oh, so you're right. It's like, it's hard. We don't want technology to control us. So if a child, I know you like help people and talk about cyberbullying. What I'm sure everybody knows what that is, but just in case they don't know what that is, what is cyberbullying and what are some tips that you can tell some kids to prevent?
I may not be the best person to define cyberbullying.
Okay.
But it's take Mean Girls before there were telephones. And you walk down the hallway, and there's this clump of girls, men, boys, my bad there, and they're around the locker. Then along you come, and maybe you're a little bit different. Maybe you've got glasses. Maybe you've got maybe you have a facial mark, something that is physically makes you different. That is what is going to trigger people who do not like or identify difference. They want to expect everything to be the same. But in reality, excitement in life is about doing different things all the time. So those people that are cyberbullying you, whether it's in the hallway and putting their foot out to trip you or knock your books out, is absolutely no different than cyberbullying today, except they're using the technology and the use of AI, which everybody can do, and take AI images and alter them can be absolutely devastating to kids. And we're seeing it. And a lot of it has to do with parentals not having educated, having given too much access. You don't give a car to a 9-year-old. Well, not unless you're watching Star Trek and then Kirk goes off to the edge. That's another story. That's fine. But we are giving technology to children today that only 40 years ago, there were only a few thousand computers. And we're giving them that kind of power. So the responsibility, yes, it's kids, but it's parents, it's the caregivers, it's the teachers, it's all of them in order to get back to how do I peacefully coexist with all of this technology. I mean, right now at my desk, okay, I've got 3 tape machines there, I've got 4 computers here, and I got the light and all that. And I spend more and more time trying to turn it off. I really do. And turning it off is one of the best things your brain can do. And here's why. In the world of cybersecurity, you may have heard, your audience may have heard of a term called denial of service, DOS, distributed denial of service, where suddenly the computers don't work. And we've seen that happen, in the news periodically. Delta Airlines is down. They don't know why. And 6 hours later, they had a denial of service attack. What that means is the system no longer works. Mm-hmm. This is a system. This is just a carbon-based system made through nature, whatever beliefs you may have, but that's what it is. What happens when I overload your brain?
Yeah, you shut down sometimes. You just can't function as well.
You shut down all the time because the brain has mathematically defined limits. Just like a wire. I got a wire here, don't I? Just like this wire. It has a limit as to how much information it can carry. Your brain has a limit. We know the limits. We know exactly what happens to the brain when it gets overwhelmed. There are some kids and we're seeing more of it these days, that are quote unquote on the spectrum. And that's a very loose term. Some people like neurodiversity, that we're not all the same. We're all very, very different people. Our brains function very, very differently. And if you've ever had a chance, or any of your audience has had a chance to experience what it is like to have autism, or to experience what Asperger's is like, there are plenty of examples online from these institutes, the scientific institutes, that when you put on, in this case, we use VR helmets, and it is complete visual and audio chaos. That's their norm.
Yeah.
Yet they don't fit in a lot of cases for the cyberbullying because they are different. Four Eyes just likes to sit there and do mathematics. He's what a geek, what a loser. No, he's the winner. He's the winner because he can embrace the difference. He can embrace himself. And part of what parents and teachers and kids need to do is learn how to own yourself, own who you are. Why try to be Barbie when you are so much better on your own?
Yeah, my son actually has, they don't call it Asperger's anymore, but he has Asperger's, and he did cybersecurity for the government just for a little while. And then they did the layoffs of probationary people. So he lost his job. But he loved it. But now he's going, I can announce it, I think. I don't know. I don't even know if he's announced it, but he's going into the army. So, but anyway, yeah, and he has Asperger's, and I probably have it, but I've never been diagnosed. When he was little, they kept asking me like, which parent has ADHD and Asperger's, and I'm like, I don't know, and it was me, I believe.
All of these terms are very fluid, and the neuroscientists and the psychologists, the child psychologists, there are legitimate debates about exact definitions. There are legitimate debates about what term is offensive. There are certain terms that we used to use 30 years ago. Well, you can't say that anymore. So it's neurodiversity basically says nobody is the same. We're all different. And I don't know, I'm sure it happened to you in school. Uh, I'd have the beat out of me periodically for not paying attention, for reading ahead, for doing all of the things that were fundamentally me being a really smart kid who
Mhm.
couldn't take the formal educational process.
Yeah.
And parents don't know what to do about it. Schools can't handle it as well. But parents and kids can. They have the ability to do it if they choose.
Yeah, so with him, I had support, but they used to tell me so he was very, very good at some subjects, but he struggled with reading. And so I took him to Easter Seals, which is occupational therapy. They have speech therapy, physical therapy. They're amazing. But he went to occupational therapy, and then he went to all these other people and had a case manager and stuff. But I had to give him breaks. So he would get overwhelmed. He would cry. He wouldn't do any of his work and he would just cry and scream. And they were like, you have to give him a break. So he would like reload and be okay. And then he could learn it. But like you said, when he gets to the point where, because he's already has so much going on in his mind, um, and so did I. I do a lot of mind body work now and do all kinds of things that I have quieted it down a lot. But that's how I was. I for a long time and didn't realize parenting him that I was going through that myself in a way. So it was even more challenging. But yeah, go ahead.
I know a number of cyber professionals and people that I've encountered throughout my life who, I don't like to read. Well, they'll say that. No, I really don't. I might read an article in Popular Mechanics, but no, I can't. What was unidentified even 30 years ago was dyslexia. Dyslexia is one of the leading causes of people that do not enjoy reading because it takes a certain kind of training to not overcome the dyslexia, but learn to coexist with the dyslexia. You're going to see this sign keep popping up.
It's okay. So that's funny that you mentioned that because I think he was dyslexic, but that's what the occupational therapy worked with because they did some cross brain stuff with them and everything. But he never got diagnosed. But me, I never loved to read, but I wrote a book and I had an editor. So, but I love to write. It was very fun, but I put words backwards sometimes, so I need help with that. Like I might
Well,
put a
you ought to
word.
see my typing. Oh,
But yeah, so it was really funny. My ex-boyfriend said, and I'm authentic, that's why my show is called this, but he was like, wow, I'm so surprised. Your book is so good. I thought, and he loves to read. And he said, I thought because you couldn't read. And I said, wait a minute, I can read. I just don't like to read. But he said, I thought because you can't read that your book wouldn't be good. But he's like, honestly, it is so good. And I was like, well, thank you. I think it was a compliment. But but yeah, so it was just a funny thing. But I love to write. So I think a lot of times we need to figure out what our strengths are and like you keep putting the coexist, that's how you can coexist. Figure out what are your things you need to work on or weaknesses, what are your strengths, and then you know figure out things. You can always change things up and switch it up, even well like except for in coding is pretty much it is what it is, but you can do
no,
whatever, right?
no, 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 no.
How does it work? Talk to us about what's
Coding, when you say coding,
yeah.
it used to mean I'm going to sit there and just code away. Do this. There are, and I'm going to be wrong on this answer. I'm going to say 100 different programming languages.
Okay.
Each one is special, has specific kinds of capabilities, special things you can do with it. If you are, what one of the kids says, I want to be able to learn how to control dams and water control systems. Okay, that is a certain kind of coding. And there's a thing called ICS, Industrial Control Systems. And this is what the Internet of Things is made of, ICS, Internet. And there's trillions of these things. And people are coding them well, and a lot of people are coding them not so well. Maybe you really like games. You know how many game programming languages there are? And the tools are getting better and better to make it easier for a kid, any adult, and I did it actually, say, I have this idea for a game. I'm going to program it. No, I have not programmed in over 40 years because I'm really bad at it. Really bad. But I understand systems. And kids, if you learn nothing else, learn how systems work together, because that's the universe. Gravity, the moon, the earth, the sun, the planets, that's a system, just as we're a system. And our brain is a system that has to talk to this system. And we have to get them working. So thinking in systems is absolutely critical in my mind, because it's transferable. It's not about knowledge per se. It's about recognizing patterns and recognizing how things work together and looking for the disconnects, the errors, the goodness. So with the coding, a couple months ago, I was working on a project for the Cognitive Security Institute, of which I'm a director, which is a nonprofit. Please, everybody, come down and join cognitivesecurity.institute and get involved with some of the smartest people on the planet who are putting together cognitive security and cyber security and looking on how to
go ahead
coexist again.
Cue the guy.
Can I should be on late night TV, just hanging this up all the time. So in that case, I knew enough about coding way back. I could do a little of this, little of that, right? And a lot of kids may have no interest specifically in coding. Oh, that means I got to do computers. It means I got to do this. Yeah, a lot of that's true. I went to ChatGPT, and I said, I want to design a game. And it said, what kind of game do you want to design? In AI, in that world, the key to programming in it is not the code. It's not the programming. It's knowing how to define exactly what you want. Because if you can't define it, if you can't be specific, how is the other intelligence going to interpret it? What's it going to do? AI makes mistakes. That's just part of the deal. It makes mistakes. AI is not perfect at all, never will be. Just it makes mistakes. And so I spent a couple of hours, but okay, no, that didn't like that instruction. All right, so I took that and then I modified that instruction. Okay, that got a little bit better. But I'm doing it all in English. Every single bit of it is me talking in regular English. Okay, can you make the outer line red? Okay, can you make the outer line now a little less red, but a little bit thicker? And all I was designing, you know the game Pong?
Yes.
I was building Pong, and that was it. To have it bounce around and to have the control. I want the letters B and V to be, move it this way, or whatever I wanted. I was able to program. I did another one which was sort of fun. How fast can you react to something that you see on your screen? Well, build your own little program, and it called a reaction test. And you say, "Hi, I want to build a reaction test. I want to find out how long it takes a person who sees a black dot that you put anywhere you want on the screen for me, and as soon as I hit the space bar, tell me how long that took."
Wow.
Simple. And it is educational for me. And I did it because I wanted to learn more about the process of what's going on. That is what coding can be, is defining what you want and learning how to tell your AI, tell your assistant. My assistant's name is Albert. And I go, "Hey, Albert, how you doing today?" And so, do we have a relationship? We have a fake relationship, but it feels good to have a computer talk back to you and be nice to you, and how's your wife and all that. But this is the new coding. Some people have some oddball words for it, but this is the same thing in life. What do you want? Learn what you need to learn on how to get there. And if it happens to be in cybersecurity and coding and all of that, in the last 3 years, the world has completely changed since November 22nd, 2022, because now you can define it. You can define what you want to build, and there is an entire industry of people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing what is called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is knowing how to explain to an AI to get what you want.
Okay.
You don't have to learn the things in the circles and the dots and the commas and all that other stuff. Any good coder is going to want to learn that at one point. But to get started, Roblox is another one for kids. These tools exist. Unity exists. There's Unity for kids they can design what's in their head and get the heck off their phones. Do something for your brain.
That's awesome. My daughter is in I don't know this year because school's about to start in August, but she was in computer science, which hopefully she's in it this year because in seventh grade they get to code a game. And she was in a competition and she got second place, but it was so cool. She did all kinds of things, but the son of the teacher, he actually, I don't know if he's autistic, but he has some kind of delay. But he designed a game for ramen. So it goes in ages and groups, and he won and so he got to go to the state level. And he wanted to, I don't know how you play a ramen game, but he designed it and he was so proud of it. And it doesn't matter. And it was in his brain and
Viva
so,
la différence. Enjoy the difference. Embrace the difference. Exploit it to their advantage. We have the tools. The only tools we don't have is enough adult knowledge to know what we don't know.
right. Yeah, that's the cool thing is that whatever you're into or what do you like now, you can find anything in that. There's other people like you. But before the internet, you didn't know that unless you physically met them. But now there's groups of people that you can look up a group for people that love polka dots and you can be in a polka dot group. I don't know.
Now that's weird.
I made it up. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. Some people might love polka dots, but maybe they love ladybugs because they love polka dots. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just.
If you can think of it, it's there. There is a group, and any decent group, and we're talking teens, tweens, what have you. Any decent group will welcome you with open arms. If they behave like I can't use that word. But if they behave that way, go find somebody else.
Yeah.
The technical community, the hacker community, the do-it-yourself community, the artsy fartsy community, the Etsy community. Everybody in this loves the cooperation of doing something better for the good of humanity. And that is the big message I am taking to kids these days. Have gotten away from other people will teach passwords, other people will teach that stuff, and that's all good. They need it and what have you. But I'm looking at how do we get technology and our brain to work better together.
That's really cool. So I have a silly question. So,
No such thing as a silly
okay.
question, unless
Could
it's really silly.
could a like cyber attack include when people go into, say you have your wallet connected to your card on your phone? Does
Mhm.
that count as a cyber attack too because they're stealing your information, or what exactly is a cyber attack?
That is called a cyber attack vector.
Vector.
Vector meaning a possible direction.
Okay.
So, do I have my wallet in this pocket? No, but we'll just say this is my wallet for now.
Okay. Altoid.
Altoids. Coexist with Altoids. It's good for you.
I'm doing a commercial now.
Um, but I have a wallet that is roughly like this. It's a little bit smaller, and my wife got it for me 20 some years ago because men put too much stuff in their wallets, and when they're sitting in the car driving, it causes sciatica.
Mm.
Do you need all 81 of those cards in your back pocket now? How many you need? Let's see, driver's license, and a couple. And you always have a thing. So we have in the car, we have one of these as well. It's called car only. And it's got the registration. It's got stuff, AAA, the stuff that would you would only really need
Yes.
in the
In the
car.
car.
So if you're going to put your Google Wallet and all that on this, you want it to be in what is called a Faraday cage. And a Faraday cage keeps magnetic signals that would try to read these from being able to do it. They would not see it. It'd be like having a house without a window. Can't see inside. Nothing there. And these little wallets, they're everywhere. I'm not going to pick a brand because I don't even know. But it is hack-proof wallets for Google Pay cards or whatever environment you're living in. Same thing on your phone. Your phone, you should have a case on it that has a lot of electromagnetic protection because the movies lie. Now, here's the other part of it that you need to be aware of is the BS between real and not real. Can I say BS?
Yes.
I just did. Um,
Twice.
you're watching a TV show, and they go, "Oh, they have a firewall. Give me 3 seconds, and I'm through." No, that's not true. To break through a firewall, if at all possible, depending upon a million different things, is hours and hours and hours and hours.
Oh.
So I keep my wallet when I travel in my front pocket because I don't want the back pocket thing stolen. This has a lot of metal in it. Is it absolutely perfect? No. But for somebody to be able to grab what's on here, they would have to be extremely close to me for a fairly long period of time. And I would have to have Bluetooth enabled. I would also have to have Wi-Fi enabled without a password or security. Will security ever be perfect? No, never. All you can do is raise the bar little by little and do your best.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's always ways to get around stuff, but you want to protect as much as possible. So, what's one way that tweens and teens can protect themselves, or adults, all of us? I would like to know. Other than that, what's another idea that you have?
Okay,
That,
how many passwords you have?
oh boy, oh that I'm bad with passwords. I don't want to tell you. Like so I don't forget. I usually use the same password. It's bad. I know that, and I'm a nurse, so anybody could break into any of my stuff probably anytime. Actually, I'll tell you a story. This is telling a lot of business. Again, authentic and just like your coexisting. Um, my
Do you
ex.
mean this coexisting?
Yes, that's it. That's it. There you go. Cue the coexist. So my ex-boyfriend, I was so upset. Figured out, of course, the password for my phone company thing. So they let him go into the phone company, not gonna say their name, gave him permission to change the phone line from mine to his, which again, that was the plan, but I wanted to be there because I didn't want him to do anything shisty and I wasn't there. So they did that without my permission because he figured out what my code was. I'm
What year
sure
was this?
just the other month. Like it just happened in December. And so I was at work and I get a message saying that I changed my phone plan. No, I didn't. And so, and it was him. And I was upset because I told him that I want you to wait for me. And then I called them and complained, and they said, well, I don't know. And then they just were like oblivious to
That
it.
is bad security on the part of the telephone company, and you potentially have some action against them
Oh,
because that is bad, bad, bad security.
his name wasn't even on the account. Like, I don't know why they let him in. They
That's
didn't like contact
awful.
me.
He did social engineering. The A couple things that you want to do. Everybody has to do. Have you ever heard of a password manager?
Yes.
A password manager will keep my 200 however many I have, synchronized between this device and this device and this. Keep them all together. It will generate on its own impossible to guess types of passwords. Means you won't remember them. You have to trust the technology.
Mm.
But the technology will say, okay, I'm going to a Kroger, a store, right? And I want to buy something from Kroger. Well, what's your login? This is where the second thing that comes in that's so important. It's called 2FA, two-factor authentication.
Oh, yeah.
And that means, in the way that I have it set up, that is this really you win? Okay, am I on an Apple system, which operates a little different than an Android system, a little bit different than this, but fundamentally, I have it set up for biometrics. And
Oh,
the biometrics will either do, I have one iPad that my finger and my grandson will do. And that's okay, that's his. Nobody else has access to any of my other with my biometrics. And on some devices, depending upon how old or new they are, you can sign in with your face. Then it may ask for verification. We need to verify this is you. We haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Can we call you, text you at the phone number on file? And you go, yes, assuming you've got the right phone number. And then you will get a text that'll say, hi, this is Kroger. We're trying to verify. Yeah, we saw your face. It says your name, but we just needed to confirm one more level of security. And that would have been them sending you a code. Maybe they're sending you a code on email and you have to enter it into the phone. There's lots of different ways that these work. But having a password manager that you've locked down with an impossible password with biometric controls on top of it as well, and using two-factor authentication whenever you possibly can. Is it a pain in the tuchus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pain in the tuchus. What's the alternative?
Somebody can steal your stuff.
How long does it take to put on a seatbelt? How long does it take to think of the driving? Think of the physical world that you live in and the security things you do automatically just to physically survive. In order to coexist, you need to learn how to electronically survive. It's not hard, but you need some help on social media. I bet most of the listeners here have, I'll accept an invite from anybody. I'll talk to anybody. And that word anybody means trouble. It should be only people I know, only people I have been individually introduced to by somebody that I trust. Anybody that has any of their, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, Signal, and I don't know the rest of them, make sure that every single bit of identification, you do not let anybody in. You do not let anybody see your picture. You do not let your phone number be seen. You stay hidden, because the purpose of social media is to be with your friends. Unfortunately, what Mean Girls types of environments have become, I need 3 million followers or I'm a loser. Get out. That's not true. It's all fake. Humanity was designed, the way we evolved from becoming hominids roughly 300,000 years ago. What is the ideal number of people to survive healthily in a group for a long period of time?
The number. In a group? How big is the group? Look, I'm thinking like
That's what I'm asking you.
well, I don't know how big the group is, so how would I know? You mean percentage or a number? I don't know.
A number of people that can peacefully coexist and survive as a society without major conflicts.
Oh, without major conflicts, 3. No, I don't know.
Was that 3 include your brother-in-law?
Yeah. So I don't know. What's the number?
Between 100 and 150.
I was gonna say 100, but I didn't know. Then you said peacefully, and then I was like, meh.
Yeah, it's very, because how much room do we have?
Yeah.
How many friends can you really be friends with? We're not teaching our kids this. They feel the need because of social pressures, advertising, all of the crap. If you don't have 10,000, oh, you're a loser. You're going to fail. I know a lot of people, because I'm old. Sorry, guys, but I'm old. And I know a lot of people over the years, and I'll hear from them once in a while and go, remind me who the heck you are. Just tell me where we were and what we did so I can trigger my memory. How many people do I actually stay in touch with, and outside of specific work stuff, it's under 100 people that I even care about.
Yeah.
Which now brings on, how do you fix this? Well, in order to coexist, you've got to get your brain not so busy. You've got to let your brain think, have time to think and evaluate and make good decisions. And this is not necessarily parental good decisions, but it is ultimately the very similar thing. And I call it critical ignoring. Everybody talks about, I teach in school sometimes, critical learning. Oh, here's an Altoid. I wonder what Altoid means. Oh, let's go back and look at the Greek. Oh, oid. Oid means oy vey in Yiddish and Greek. I'm making stuff up here. But that's, again, back to curiosity. My wife and I are endless at this. There's a word, we go, wonder where the hell that word came from. And so we'll spend time on it. Just not overloading. We're looking for a piece of information that's kind of curious. Critical ignoring says 99.9965% of the information that's coming your way is designed not for you, it is designed to control you and overload you. You do not naturally have, we as humans do not naturally have a mental immune system to create antibodies against BS, against noise.
Wow. You're so good with, how do you remember all these numbers? Is it just because you're interested in it, or is your just your program?
I'm one of those people who get my son and I, we can do numbers.
That's
It's
awesome.
just, it's there. I got my grandson now figuring out 2 to the 13th power in his head.
Whoa. At 6?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Oh, no, it's good for him. What we're doing is looking for those areas of curiosity, of interest, and ability that intrigue him to pursue whatever it is he wants to pursue. He thinks he wants to be an engineer. No, I want to be a gardener. And I'm going, no, you don't. But that's another issue. You want to save the planet. But you know what I'm saying. And he is going to have so many different interests. I know I did. My son did. My daughter did. And one of the things that is unfortunately overlooked in education, especially in the United States, is they want everybody to be a specialist. Be the specialist. All right, you said you were a nurse, right?
Yes.
All right. I have no doubt, and I don't need the answer, that you can specialize better than some other nurses in some specific nursing stuff. However, nursing is a dome of care.
Right.
And you have to have that dome of knowledge and then go, well, how does that? Oh, no, maybe it's this, and know when to call for help, know when to identify. And it's a broad base of generalized knowledge.
Yep.
You want to go specialize from there? Okay, that's somebody else's decision. But as a nurse, without a general knowledge of the bits and the pieces and what all that is a failure. You can't be a nurse. You can't be an engineer. What you can be is a bus driver. All you got to do is drive and stop at red lights. You want to be a ditch digger? You can do that. Here's the shovel. I'll see you in 9 hours. Do you want to use your brain? Do you want to use your mind? Do you want to be curious? Do you want to help yourself? Do you want to help other people? And don't listen to the thing about money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, we all need money. But don't get overwhelmed by looking like Barbie and having the amount of money and all that, because that will take you off far away from the path that will really help you as a human being and help your friends and family to be a better cohesive unit and coexist better.
That's right.
As I close the commercial.
That's good advice. And you're right. So nursing, this is going to make us look bad, but it doesn't. It's just true. People think that we know everything. Not true. How in the world can one person know everything about the human body, the systems, the everything? We don't know everything. We know a little bit about a lot of things. That's what we were talking. Like we know a little bit about the systems until you use it. For example, if you ask me to go check a female and see how far dilated she is, I don't know. I cannot do it. I learned it in school many, many years ago. So if you taught me again and I practiced a couple times, then I would get it. But to just go, because I've never done in my 11 years of nursing, I have never done labor and delivery. So that would be something that's foreign to me. Now I can, like, if I had to assist someone and I'm out in public and something's happening and I had to assist, I could figure it out. but I would not do it to the level that the people that do it every day
No,
do.
you're going to turn on the easiest, quietest, get me the hell to the hospital taxi driver, and be calm and try to settle the mother
Right,
and delay the dilation any further if at all possible.
right. So
It's that's common sense from generalized knowledge.
yes, and it's critical. We have to use critical thinking. So in nursing, just like you were saying in school. So in nursing, we have to do, and I don't really. I've worked in a ER a little bit, but what they do is with the acuity. That's what they do. So if you're waiting for 6 hours, but somebody comes in with a heart attack, I'm sorry, the heart attack is going to go first. And it's frustrating, but that's what happens. It's because we have to worry about what is the most severe.
All they
But
have to do is watch the TV show MASH. And it's called triage, you know
yeah,
that.
triaging. That's right.
And triage in ERs is often emotionally the most difficult decisions you ever have to make.
Triage. Ooh. But just like in my day as well. So say for instance, I don't do floor nursing anymore. Thank goodness. I'm so blessed. But I worked in the PACU and now I work in discharge from surgery. So I send patients home that had surgery. But for example, say I have 3 patients right now. I'm going to do that. What's more important? So some people, and this is just me being transparent, will get upset because I'm not there to do their discharge papers. But say, for instance, my patient's blood pressure is low. I have to worry about that first, right? So now I go into critical thinking. What am I going to do? What steps do I have to take to essentially in my area, we thank goodness don't have to save people a lot, but that's what it is. You could be bleeding out, da 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 da. So now my brain goes, okay, surgery was here. Let's check this, da 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 da. And we don't always count on the machines. They work, sometimes they don't work. So what we were taught in school is look at the person, right? So I had one time I worked in the ICU and the ventilator was going off and I looked at the person. The person's breathing, everything was fine. Something was going on with the ventilator. We need to call respiratory therapy. I don't mess with those, you know. But if it was the person, then I need to fix what's going on with the person. One time the ventilator went off and it was disconnected from the person. Not good. That means they're not going to get the oxygen. So that's what, that's the kind of thing. But even with technology and all that, it's like you said, it's making it easier and people aren't using their brain as much. And I need to use my brain all the time. And now we use math a lot as well in medicine. Like when we're giving medications, we have to do like one medication. I have no clue. It's 50 milligram vial. We have to give 6.25. Why in the world do we have to do that? Drives me crazy. But I have to use the math and go, okay, is that one 0.25? I think. Anyways, of a ml. So it's just those kind of things.
And to finish up, I want to bring this back because exactly the same point to cybersecurity. People say, I want to get into cybersecurity. What does that mean? I got a note from a colleague going to high school with, and he goes, my friend Crash wants to know who the best cyber IT people, information technology people are, to build a data center, and it has to be done really well, really secure, and really secret. What information has he given me?
So he wants it.
The answer is none.
None. Right. What is it on? You don't know. What do you?
Because I got back to him and I listed 22 questions and I said those are the only 22 of the first 22,000. Whoever is asking this question has no clue what they're talking about. Because we all in cybersecurity, like there's some people that I know and they'll go, Winn, you can't code, you don't know this, and you don't know your. Yep, that's right. But then I got stuff that I know. I mean, there's a mutual respect for each of us having our own developed skills. When you think about cybersecurity, do not think of it as just one little tiny path. Feel free to go to AI, JIP, ChatGPT, and ask it, what are the top 200 sets of skills that are part of cybersecurity.
It's a lot.
That's the education, because you're not going to pick them all at once. You need guidance. Hopefully, school guidance counselors. Mine were great way back in the day. Today, I hear stories that are not so good, but it's on the kids. A lot of you guys are going to have to ask the tough questions. Asking the questions is more important than the answer, because if you don't know how to ask the question, if you don't know how to talk to your AI, you're not going to get an answer worth anything.
Ooh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, you wrote a book. We didn't talk about it. Do you want to just mention where we can find you and where we can? Is the book on like a publishing site or?
All right. Well, my name I see up there. It's spelled correctly. Do I have a copy of my book here? I don't even.
It's okay. What is it? Just tell us what it's called.
Now I'm annoyed with myself. I should always go on with it. The name of the book is The Art and Science of Meta War.
Oh.
And it's on Kindle, okay. which is good because you get to do your vocabulary stuff. It's in hard copy as well, of course. And it's broken into 3 parts. The first part is, what are you as a human being? How do you function? What is truth? What is belief? How do you know what's real and not real? Then it gets into, how do I manipulate you? How do I manipulate you in such a way that you will never know you're being manipulated? Mm. The third part gets into advanced manipulation with more VR and all this new stuff that's being created around us. And some of the first steps that the neuroscientists and the experimental psychologists are getting into about what to do and how to handle it. One of the things that is of note in the educational section towards the end, in Finland, they start teaching critical thinking at 3 years old.
Wow.
How do they do it? 2 words.
Do you want me to guess?
What? Yeah, no, I'll bet. Fairy tales.
Fairy tales. Okay.
They're not doing anything magic. They are using what already exists as a mechanism to teach critical thinking. How many apples could she really carry in that basket? I mean, I'm making stuff up.
Yeah.
And does the big bad wolf, does he wear a handkerchief around his head? Nah, that's silly. However, they say that in Finnish. Scandinavia, Iceland, Estonia, the Baltic countries are very advanced in this. The European Union has dedicated 95 billion euros to helping educate what we call this critical thinking, critical ignoring, cognitive defense, that whole space of the merger of where we want to be able to coexist.
That's right.
And on that note, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning. I think.
Let me know.
Yeah, the audience got, I'm sure, a lot from this. I can't wait for McKenna to watch it because it's really interesting and very important. And it's important for us to use our brains, y'all. So use our brains for good. Keep learning information.
You use your brains. Don't let technology use them for you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Winn. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you.
You too.
Bye,
Be well.
Bye, everybody. You too.